pulls the gun on the kid. Maybe Timothy Dalton's just stupid.
Yeah. It was not the best, but it might have been the worst. Going for the serious tone, it just would have been nice if those serious tones were good.
It was a river of shit.
Hello, Jason.
Hello there.
So, we had a brief, not brief, what? That's not the word I was looking for. We had a slight technical issue with the original time we recorded License to Kill, so we're just going back through it. It's like way later. The audio's better.
Everything is different.
Like, everything's 100% different. We just had to go back. So, oh well. So, and then Harley still has somewhat of a cameo at the end of this episode, yeah? So, because didn't we make a video after this one? Because he also had to leave. So we're not leaving Harley out. During both Dalton movies, he had.
I remember he wasn't here for
Living Daylights.
Living Daylights.
I believe there was some other reason the very next week when we did this, he had to leave. So really, it's like nothing changed at all.
Sure.
But you guys weren't there for that. So, anyway. So this is kind of our new format. So, and then we'll go back to another Bond movie and everything will be 100% different. So, it'll be funny. Although Goldmember will be like this. So.
All right. Time out.
Yeah.
So, we're going to have to pause this.
Okay.
I rewatched Living Daylights. And that's just where I'm at. So you said that, I'm like, hold up, and then I go through my notes since like I didn't put a header on it, so I'm like, okay, hold on, maybe I'm still that wrong, and then I go look it up, and I'm like, no, I did the Living Daylights.
Okay, so we'll be back in a week. We'll do Living Daylights, and yeah.
I'm so stupid. Oh my god, I can't embarrass me in front of all of our viewers.
That's right. We're back.
We're back.
Are we looking up Vern Troyer?
Oh, that's a spoiler.
Okay. All right, so License to Kill. License to Kill. We're back. The first 3 minutes will be a little something like, what the fuck? It's the wrong movie.
You know, we all make mistakes.
Yes, we do.
I made mine a while ago.
Well, it was about 2 weeks ago now.
About 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but we're back, and we're ready to do License to Kill.
Yep.
And I don't remember how far we got, but I'm just gonna read the plot, and then if we did that, I think I got like 2 lines into the plot. And
yeah, and I was like, hold up. The panic really set in.
Yeah. So, all right. So we'll do this. They're en route to Felix's wedding. He and Bond lasso up a plane with a helicopter. It makes no sense. They capture Franz Sanchez. Felix gets married. His wife tries to bang Bond while Sanchez bribes the police. Felix and his wife met by Sanchez's men. She is killed. Felix has his leg eaten. Bond and Sharkey are on the case. Bond kills the dirty cop. His license to kill confiscated, and he resigns. Bond sneaks on Cress's boat, messes up a drug shipment, and steals the drug money. Meets Pam Bouvier in a bar. Gets in a bar fight with Sanchez and his men. Or no, Sanchez's men. Excuse me. They agree to work together. Q's along for the ride. Assassination attempt failed because Hong Kong Narcotics Bureau is also on the case. Bond rescued by Sanchez because he's a bad spy. Gets away. Frame Crest. Crest explodes. Still in Sanchez's good graces, he is taken to the business meeting where Dario realizes that, it's him from earlier, and he needs saved again because he's bad at this. Pam saves him. They get out of here. Oh, by the way, Pam played the televangelist and stole his keys. Q, huge chase scene with tanker trucks going down a mountain where Bond has impeccable plot armor and eventually blows Sanchez up. Q, jealous girl scene in end of movie and cheesy ending in a pool. And that's about License to Kill.
That's about what happened.
So yeah, we were doing this. I think I said the technical difficulties thing. last time, but just reiterating in case we didn't. There's that. We're in our new format. We're in our new equipment, obviously. So it's not our one mic deal. I don't know if we have anybody that's going through and watching all these. So, I mean, I could just be preaching to the choir here. But
If you follow the Bond in series, like in, release order, this one will be an odd man out for a little bit.
yeah,
It's fine.
as far as setting, microphones, that kind of
Structure.
thing. Structure, yeah. So, but we'll get there. Yeah, one thing I wanted to mention is the different spelling of license. I think the English version is like LICNCENCE, whereas the American spelling has an S in there.
Yep.
I mean the cover there has a C, so.
Yep.
But then you look it up and it has the I don't know. So
Well, I got to tell
there's
you.
that. So I don't know which way to post it when we post this.
Yeah, honestly, after kind of going through and looking at stuff online, I think we're just going to go with the C.
Going with the C.
Yeah,
Let's
because
do it.
we'll throw it in the tag on the video itself, so it'll pick up both, but I think we're going to go with the C for the title.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So what'd you like about this movie?
What I liked about this one, and especially just the Timothy Dalton stuff in general, is that we have a little bit of kind of like the darker, more serious plot tones. And especially in this one, we had a little bit of like actual kind of like blood and gore, which has been pretty light in Bond overall.
Yeah.
We've had people explode before, but I don't think we really had much in the way of viscera or on-screen blood. So that was definitely kind of interesting. Overall, Timothy Dalton's Bond is like actually has emotions and reacts to things rather than just being kind of like this, almost one-dimensional, like I feel pretty calm, cool, and collected about everything that happens to me.
Yeah.
But he actually gets like pissed and reacts and overreacts to things. So that was really really nice to see. And this just felt a little bit more kind of like that action spy genre, rather than some of the other ones we've had so far. So,
Yeah.
All things I definitely enjoyed out of kind of this era and this movie especially.
So it sounds like upon second watch you liked it more. 'Cause
I
remember the first time we did
definitely
it,
like it more on the second watch. Yeah,
that was
and
interesting.
I'm
Yeah.
sure just the kind of time away from this is kind of helped.
That's true. I mean, we were knocking a Bond out a week, and I think everybody was pretty over it for a minute there. So, yeah, that I bet it'll be interesting when we get it back into like doing Craig's here pretty soon. Like, if everybody's just like, even though I feel like those are pretty much like the better movies of the bunch, but I wonder if that'll be more of a like will we be like, oh yeah, Casino Royale, that was sweet, and then will we get to Skyfall? And
We'll be
even
like,
though
I don't
it's,
care, I don't
the
care.
most successful movie of the entire franchise with like over $1 billion, and it's like, yeah, it fucking kind of sucked, man. Like he's just doing the same thing he did last time. Like
You remember the last 23 movies, right? It's just that.
it's probably not the best way to be reviewing them. Is just watching them one after the other. But,
Yeah, no, for sure. Because my enjoyment out of this second watch through was, I'd say, pretty much higher than comparison to the first one. But that's fine.
What I liked was I liked cheesy Benicio del Toro. Like he definitely like way overplayed it, which I guess if you're calling something cheesy, it's probably like a don't like as well. But every time he pulls out the knife, he's like, got it out to the side.
Yeah, it's like this action
it's-
or flaunt flair kind of thing.
Real goofy. Very interesting. Sounds like a backhanded compliment, the cheesy thing. But I mean, it may have been kind of like an outlandish movie, like lassoing planes and Bond in a wetsuit climbing to the cockpit of a plane,
Yeah.
midair, but it was fun, and we saw some really cool gadgets. I mean, we didn't see many of them get used, but
We actually got a gadget rundown.
I always
So.
appreciate a gadget rundown, and even if it's in a hotel room. So, what I didn't like, oh man. Well, again, I wish they would have stuck to the revenge plot. I feel like he goes off track too many times, and it becomes, I don't know. It's like a revenge movie is just supposed to be like, you dead. You gotta kill 30 people and then you can kill him. Okay.
Yeah,
you
that
know.
everything in your wake must shatter to get to the guy kind of thing.
Yeah. I wish they was stuck to that a little bit more. Taken, John Wick, that kind of thing. Sharky was a really bad actor. And why couldn't his name just be Bob or something? Of course his name's Sharky. Like, again, it's that thing where we've talked about before. Like, these guys sitting in a room writing these movies. It's like, wow, what's his name? It's like, well, Sharky. His name's Sharky. Great. Good.
You
It's
get
good.
a raise. They love that.
And then they had the missed opportunity of the Bondism there. Like, a Sharkyism it would be, but Sharky's chainsaw my ass. I know a shark bite when I see one. And then the next line could have just been, or my name isn't Sharky.
Yeah,
I mean, come
100% missed opportunity.
Lack of Bondism somewhat in general with the Dalton era.
Yeah, too serious for one-liners. Well, I guess maybe just the Bondism one-liners. He still gets a couple.
Yeah. Pam Bond relationship, not great. And Lupe is just cringy.
Yeah.
And, what'd you not like?
So, kind of also on, like, the revenge plot, really, really wish we could have focused on that a little bit more, because it just doesn't really make sense that, like, Bond would just kind of get into bed with Sanchez a little bit, Like, he's like, oh, I'm going to be a little undercover, double spying kind of thing, have Sanchez think I'm in with him.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, just kill him. Just kill him. He's right there. He's got your trust. Just pull your gun out, shoot him, kill 8 of the guards, and get out of there. Like, it didn't have to be that extravagant of a thing. But then, we wouldn't get to introduce, 3 or 4 other plot lines to where other people are involved and other stuff matters. So I felt like that was definitely a little bit of a loss there.
Which is paramount in a Bond movie. It's
Yeah.
like, we have to have 9 storylines going on where you only care about just the one.
Yeah. Well, especially with, like, Pam's storyline, it's like we don't find out until, like, the last, like, 45 minutes, 30 minutes or something that, like, she actually has a reason to really be involved in this in any capacity. It's like, who fucking cares? Kind of the illusion of consequences and stakes kind of throughout, It's like we were like, oh no, like, he's a rogue agent, so like are they going to be coming after him? Are they sending people? Like, is Bond fighting people on both sides? And it's like, no one cares. Like, it's fine. They just leave him to his own devices because they know he's going to either win or tucker himself out and come back.
Well, that's what he does in every... Like, it's almost comical in the Craig movies where they're like... I feel like the preview in every one of the Craig movies. Bond's gone rogue. Oh yeah,
Again.
He goes away, he runs away from home. He comes back. Everybody hugs him.
He's just a pissed off teenager,
Hail
basically.
to the Queen or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. I mean,
Fuck Queen and country.
yeah.
But yeah, those were kind of my major points there that I was just kind of dissatisfied. And then yeah, definitely some of the females in this in general, like, while both attractive, just not really adding anything of value.
Nope.
So kind of disappointing there. But I do like how, at least in the first couple of minutes, we had the illusion that Pam wasn't just gonna like fold like a table for Bond, and then she did. So
Absolutely did.
took that away from me. You get a little excited and you're like, oh yeah, someone's standing up to Bond. He gets a partner that he can maybe respect, and it's like, no,
Yeah.
we can't respect women, not in a Bond movie.
Bad summary. I have Peeping Tom gets his when his head explodes.
That's pretty good. I had a televangelist commune falls under attack.
Good. That's good. Bad trailer. I have Spy and Drug Lord fall in love.
Oh man, I had 2 for this. So one was kind of setting up some of the scenes to be like an infomercial for Sanchez. So it's like how to like it's the video he sent to the Chinese dudes to get him to start trading.
Okay.
So it's like the scenes of like the drugs traveling underwater and that little boat thing, and it's like our multiple means of transportation and discrete methods, and then the plane flying away and everything. So I was just thinking it's almost like his sales pitch material that he sent over to them.
Yeah.
And then also the rags to riches story focusing on Pam. So we start off with like her in the bar looking, kind of bland and rough and everything, and then it's like the dramatic cutaway to her all dressed up, looking glamorous at the casino.
Dude, that was so. That to find out that like she like wore a wig. When I was doing some reading, I think I said that the first time we did this. Is like, she had a wig on because she already had short hair, and so they had her put on a wig, and then she looks all done up, and it's like, was she really that much hotter? Like the fucking Bond double take of the.
What?
Like, really?
Yeah.
It wasn't that crazy. Bad casting. As we've done our reading about Bond casting, Mel Gibson's one of the people, so I said Mel Gibson is Bond because I think it's terrible.
Sure.
Sharky is Sharky because, he was not great. And I said Dario and Sanchez switch roles. So, like,
Okay.
Benicio del Toro's Sanchez. Because, like, just the way he, like, I don't know, like, he's... Dude that played Sanchez was, like, really perfect for it. And I feel like Benicio del Toro would not have played a good Sanchez because he's...
Yeah, he would have had too much of that dramatic, overplayed flair.
Yeah, he's got too much of the, like, the head movements and...
It's like a snake a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So Shark Boy from Shark Boy and Love a Girl as Sharky.
Okay.
It's like in costume and everything.
Sure.
We just have. Oh shit! Who's the guy who actually plays him? It's the guy from Twilight. I can't think of what his name is. Taylor Lautner.
Oh, okay. I heard Twilight, and I was just thinking of that vampire guy.
No. So that would have been fun. And then Vern Troyer.
By the way, we don't have a producer. My wife's in the hallway for some reason. Anyway.
And then Vern Troyer should be Q. Just completely non-speaking, but still showing off all of the tools. And they had to get like a really, really small table for him to set everything out on. And like Bond and Pam are just like hunched down with them. It's like a kid's table.
Did you do the math of it? Does that work for like? Was he around?
I didn't look up
No,
to see.
okay.
No,
I mean,
honestly,
whatever.
but that would have been fun.
Yeah. Nice. You want to do a note blow through?
Sure.
All right, you can go first.
Sure. Alrighty. Let's see where I want to start. I like the fact that we open up with us heading to Felix's wedding, and that Bond is even bro enough with Felix that he gets to go to the wedding. And then it all makes sense because of how lovey-dovey that Felix's wife is with Bond, and that he was definitely backdooring that the entire time.
She's an old flame.
She's an old flame. Yeah, well, it hasn't burned out quite yet.
You always leave it burning, just a little.
Just a smidgen there. So the horn was definitely there from the beginning. James and Felix are workaholics. They never stop working, even if you're supposed to be at a wedding, even if it's your own wedding. They cause way too much of a ruckus, I think, just for them to still follow through with the wedding to begin with.
For sure.
And then we have Ed, blanking his last name, Killifer.
Yeah, that sounds right. Killifer.
Also mildly alluded, he's like, I'm just here to kiss the bride. So apparently everybody was backdooring the bride. Felix is just getting like the sloppiest of seconds. So that's all fine and dandy. Ed is actually a double agent. He's transporting Sanchez, runs them off the road. Scuba Crew rescues them all. All that's fine and dandy. Della takes off her garter and throws it at James because she still wants it. Felix gets clubbed. Della gets taken hostage on their wedding night. How unfortunate. Classic line of, this is nothing personal, it's just business. And then Sanchez gets Felix set up to get his knee chewed off, or his leg chewed off, which again, one of the most visceral, gory things we've seen in a Bond movie, really.
Yeah.
Poor Felix, like I said, this is kind of all darker, gross, and everything. Timothy Dalton is much more emotional and actually having, like, that heavy reaction when they're in the hospital talking to Sharky. He's just visibly pissed.
Whereas Sharky's like, got his leg bitten off by a shark. And then that face, he's like, oh.
It's like, Sharky, you've seen enough people get their legs bit off. This is probably nothing for you. Or if your name ain't Sharky. So then they, Bond and Sharky team up, and they're going shark hunting, because they're stupid. Show up at the warehouse conveniently. Have a really boring exchange. Bond and Sharky sneak in at night. See the cool underwater boat. James almost gets ate by a shark. Lit. They get caught. James throws a bunch of maggots at a dude. I called it pocket maggots,
Nice.
pocket sand. They throw the dude in the little tray thing that has all the maggots, and that dude definitely got slowly ate to death. Like, there's no way anyone came back for him to save him. That man died in the worst possible way. James is pissed, but he does get his revenge on Ed. Throws the money at him. Ed falls into the little pit and gets ate. Gotta love that sweet, sweet revenge. James resigns because he's emotional. Whatever. Gets his license to kill revoked. There's the title. For some reason, James sees it fit to abandon ship and be a fugitive rather than just like playing along and just doing your own thing anyways. I feel like it would have gone a lot smoother if he just did this after he agreed to just go back to, I think, Turkey or Istanbul or something.
Sounds right, yeah.
Crest is a drunk, horny old man trying to get with our hot girl. She says no, but also, I think we'd all do the same thing in his position. James scubas around, slinks around with a knife, finds the hottie with a body, because I kept forgetting her name throughout the first part of this, Lupe. Sharky gets caught because he's not a spy. He's just a guy with a boat. Drug exchange is made. We get the cool infomercial clip that would be used for Sanchez's sales pitch.
Yeah.
Bond does some cool waterboarding. Bond breaks into Felix's house for some reason, gets some information, meets up with Pam. They get into a bar fight. They abandon ship. Oh, I like female characters who don't fold like a table for Bond. JK, she's definitely down. The whole bringing over like the large case of money, or the cases of money over to the bank, and like opening that up and be like, oh, I also want a $2 million line of credit at the casino. I don't really understand why we need any of that. Can you explain that to me? Like, what? Why did he need to bring a bunch of cash outside of just to be noticed at the casino?
Well, you're definitely not getting $2 million line of credit if you don't have the collateral. Right, you got to show that you're a high roller.
Sure, but like, just bring the $2 million in. Because he brought in
he doesn't want to spend any of that money. I mean, now granted, we all know he's Bond and he's just gonna win.
Yeah,
and Bond knows he's gonna. He walks in there, he's like, I'm winning, I'm Bond.
Yeah,
Fuck
until
England,
Lupe shows up.
Fuck England, get money.
Yeah,
like let's go.
I'm Bond, baby. That's what I do. But
if he loses any of that money, because then he needs it later to whatever he did with it. Oh, because he's got to put it back in Crest's boat and frame Crest. So
but it just seemed like such a extraneous activity. But
there's an image thing there too, where he's got to be like, I have
billions of yen.
I am this guy. I have this money. I'd like to make a deposit.
I'm going to be here for a long time.
And then abruptly, I'm leaving.
I have to go now.
I have to go. It's been a day. Well, I need my money back.
Yep. So that's all fine and dandy because it works out. Bond gambles a bit. And he gets noticed. He gets brought up, talks to Sanchez. Bond, instead of just blowing Sanchez up right then and there, decides to fake like he wants to kind of work for him and like, oh, you could use a guy like me. Sanchez isn't very interested in the moment. And that's all fine and dandy. Bond goes back to the hotel. His Uncle Q shows up, played by Vern Troy.
Right.
Should have been hilarious. I like the line, let's make this a proper family reunion. Give me your gun. I like to think that Bond has a very fucked up family that even if it was a normal family reunion, he's like, I better be armed here. This is not going to go well. Q shows up because we love Q. We love the gear rundown.
That's how we do it. Family bonds.
Uh-huh.
Instead of the parallel universe thing, Connery's just the really old dad. And then, like, Roger Moore can be the uncle.
Oh, so it's like the actual family.
And then I guess we can make Dalton and Pierce the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And Lazenby's the
step cousin.
Yes. Lazenby's the step cousin. For some reason he got a movie. No one knows why. and then Craig is the grandson.
So even better, right? So it's like I'm thinking of like it's like Sean Connery dies and he's the ghost. So rewrites. So Sean Connery dies, he's the ghost, and the will is left to all of the other Bonds, and that's
Maybe they're
why,
all cousins.
Yeah,
I still like them all existing like in their primes.
yeah.
Like just the dynamic of them all being in their prime and like they fail a mission, they're all just kind of like sitting in recliners back at the bro pad, just like, man, fucking, Dr. Evil got us again, or whatever the fuck, know. Anyway, so go on.
Family Bonds will be good if we ever get around to it. That'll be a fun time.
I feel like we got to finish these.
Yeah.
And then I have just this ongoing list of things I've written down. So.
Yep. Yeah. So go through the queue rundown. Bond impersonates some wait staff to get the drop on Sanchez during his meeting. Sets up some cigarettes and stuff that I don't remember what the exact function of the cigarettes were. I think it was just a bomb or something, maybe. But
oh yes, they were like the C4, like because they're supposed to be inconspicuous,
right.
So
that was fun. And then James takes a very dangerous photo. He has his camera gun. He gets murked by some ninjas. Gets yelled at for fucking up the Hong Kong operations. A tank shows up, kills everybody except for Bond. And that one girl gets away. One of the other Chinese girls, she gets away for some reason.
She's alive, but then she she had the cyanide.
Oh, that's right. She did take the cyanide. You're right.
Like, don't let him take you alive. And then she gets shot basically.
So that's all fine and dandy. James wakes up in this, luxurious palace type of thing, talks to Sanchez, does a little bit of that info exchange to gain his trust. Sanchez just eats it up. Lupe continues to be a dime piece. Sanchez thinks he's so smart about knowing a couple things about Bond. One of the henchmen comes over. He's like, I know who that guy is. He's like, former British Secret Service. Oh, I'm so smart. Fucking Sanchez.
Yeah.
I like when Bond choices have negative consequences. This is when Bond's getting kind of yelled at about, this is more than your personal vendetta by Pam.
Yeah.
And then I remember that's a Bond movie, so no, they don't. Pam is the shitty harbor pilot, causes mayhem, crashes into the harbor. James comes aboard, everyone gets wet. Sanchez gets tricked into exploding Crest. And then tells him to
wet.
And then Sanchez tells him to launder the money. Like, you're gonna easily clean up blood and guts off of like the shit ton of money that was in that.
Reverse Bondism.
Yeah, it's obnoxious. Bond gets paid for creating this scenario in which Sanchez gets to blow up Crest, which is all fine and dandy. But I don't imagine Bond does anything with that money, anyways.
No.
Lupe storms in on Pam and it's like, hey, we fucked last night, but I'm really worried about James. And Pam gets really upset about it because it was very much well, I can't help him. You seem capable. We fucked last night, but why don't you clean up?
Yeah.
Thought that was a very savage strategy on Lupe's part.
Yeah.
We go to the compound / televangelist commune, whatever. It's a very bizarre thing. It's like
a mess.
It's
it
like
really
kind
is.
of like Aztec architecture, kind of a drug lab. I don't know. It's such a weird setup. James just romps about. Pam meets Dr. Joe and tries to seduce him. Dr. Joe is about to deflower Pam, and then bam, Pam shoots his favorite poster. Bond sets the whole facility on fire, mostly just for fun, because he could have gotten out of there anyways. Dario, I think, was the henchman name. That was So Dario, he gets ground to death in the most grossest bullshit I ever saw in my life. The just straight up ridiculous truck sequence, like just that whole thing is the most annoying thing. It's like we got 4 trucks that we just have to explode. We got Stinger missiles going off. We got bad driving. The trucks don't explode until we need them to.
The amount of plot armor involved for Bond to make it down that mountain, and as we know, time is relative to plot. He drops that tanker, at the exact right time to hit the other tanker, as if the tanker driver, doesn't have eyes and doesn't see maybe that thing rolling down, try to pump the brakes a little bit, or
Nope. Infinite
Just
plot
a-
armor.
just times relative to plot, sights relative to plot, armor.
The only redeeming thing out of this is that Bond gets the final merc with the lighter he got from Felix. And
Again, another missed opportunity for a Bondism. Like, don't you want to know? You see this? It's a lighter, a Felix lighter. Come on.
yeah, that would have landed pretty well, I think.
Connery would have done it.
Yeah, or courtesy of Felix Leiter, and then gone through it.
Come on, man.
And it's not like on the nose is beyond what Bondisms are for. Like, they're allowed to be the dumbest thing you heard.
It's like that's the fucking point of them. I just felt a dog under me.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely underutilized the Bondisms in this one, which was lame. And then we kind of hit up our wrap up sequence. Bond makes out with Lupe. Pam sees him, gets pissed and cries off, and then Bond jumps over the ledge, drags Pam into the pool, and then makes out with her.
It's like
And-
my least favorite ending I've ever seen.
Only Bond could get away with making out with a girl, making someone else upset about it, and then going to make out with that girl you made upset by
Pulling
just
her
making
into
out
a
with
pool,
her.
which
Yeah.
women famously hate,
Mm-hmm.
getting pulled into pools.
As well as a bunch of people on a balcony probably looking at her, being like, "Oh, look at the drunkies in the pool, just making out."
You ever
Oh,
seen-
it's Bond. It's fine.
You ever seen the internet?
I've-
Women get mad.
I've been to the internet.
Yeah, I've been.
I've seen an internet.
It's a cool place, Yeah. Yeah, my least favorite Bond ending probably ever.
Yeah.
I'll try to skip over in mine some of the things you hit since we.
I was very encompassing. I do apologize for this.
No, it's okay. His name is Sharky. Really? I would have liked an alternate take where Felix parachutes down to the wedding, but he gets caught in the plane propeller. Obviously, so many problems with the helicopter plane thing, but fuck it, it's Bond. It's custom that the bride is completely uninterested sexually in her groom and wants to bang the best man. Bad effect guy getting hit with the rifle basically definitely looks like paint was just painted onto the butt of that rifle, and then he basically just
Well,
stamped
that's the thing.
that guy.
Like, he was like immediately bleeding. You know what I mean? It's just like this millisecond it came into contact. It's like, oh no.
And the size of the gun butt, you're bleeding the whole spot. Like, yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Della wants some James so bad.
Same.
Married once thing just keeps coming up with the fucking. Quit holding on to that storyline, honestly. I feel like they drop it once we get to Brosnan, if I remember right.
Well, they get
Like,
too
they don't
comfortable
mention
in
it
it being
anymore.
like, oh, James can never love because he was in love once and he lost and now he just fucks.
Good old James, he's just always fucking. Poor Felix. Bond more upset that Della's dead, of course.
Yeah.
Love when Bond pulls up and the extras have to like scoot out of the way real quick when he pulls back up to Felix's house
Yeah.
after the whole death thing.
Well, there's
Yeah.
another scene in the bar too where it's someone just trying to get out of the way.
Oh, yeah?
So once they're back in the bar, the hostess lady, she comes over and asks them if they want a drink, and Bond ends up like punching the dude in the gut, slamming his head on the table, and then he falls backwards, and the lady's like, she's supposed to go behind the chair to
Yeah.
get out of the way, but she can't because the dude scooted back too far. So like she tries, and it's really awkward, and then she just does this like awkward hop in front of him. And I rewound it a couple of times because her face was like, this wasn't supposed to happen. It's so uncomfortable.
Just the fact that they leave it too,
Yeah.
like where when that lady like hits the little boy on the arm, like, oh, come on, we gotta go. And they do this thing, and then you just leave it in, like don't. Come on, Broccoli. I know you got the dough. You can do another take.
Yeah. No retakes.
Yeah. Sharky's a bad actor. If my name isn't Sharky, like the idea that he may like the maggots. Like I could just see him just being like, oh yes.
Oh gosh, I'm going to put my dick in the Slater.
Also, he's a bad spy. Very electric eel. My wife tells me that's not how that works. Good thing that guy was standing exactly on the trap door so Sharky could open it and help Bond out. Bond does whatever he wants every movie anyway, even though everyone gets mad. You think it's going to make a difference this time, Em? By the way, they totally make M look like a villain with that with all the roaming cats and the mysterious music and the hesitation to reveal them.
Mm-hmm.
Farewell to Arms, first Bondism week. Don't shoot, there's too many people. It's a fucking tree farm. Like, what do we... I mean, it's not a tree farm, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, there's a fucking garden, practically. There's no one. There's a dividing one.
It may have been more concern for causing the pandemonium around, the area in general. Gunshot sounds travel, so...
MI6 did. This is the first
yeah.
that they've cared about that.
The well-being of the public.
Oh, that was the other thing I said. Don't shoot, there's too many people. Those are trees, M, you schizophrenic old coot.
He served in Vietnam, so...
They're in the trees!
They're everywhere! We're surrounded!
Stop peeking through my windows. What are you so stuck up for? Yeah, privacy, another word for stuck up.
Yep.
Seriously, you called the boss for the manta ray? I don't understand why you didn't catch the fact that that's not a manta ray. What? Anyway, yeah. I mean, Crest is drunk. Like, what's that guy's excuse? It's a dude in a costume.
It's fine.
No, not Sharky. Yeah, cut Bond's air off. Don't just stab him. Don't know a lot, but he just came out of the ocean and he's wet trying to get in a smooth metal plane. Whatever. Good old bulletproof money. Loosely packed money, by the way. The just stops the bullet.
Yeah.
It's cool. Love young Benicio del Toro with his dramatic knife wielding, as we've said. Oh yeah, that's why I hate this movie. Why don't you wait until you're asked? Why don't you ask me?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
It doesn't even land. Like, it's not cool then. It's not cool at the end.
Nope.
Fucking waste.
Double take when she gets the haircut is cheesy as fuck. Sanchez definitely feels Scarface inspired. It's the right era. All the reddish interior kind of deal, and then the white suit, and then the fucking what's the animal he had on his shoulder? Well, I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, the iguana?
Yeah. Yeah, the iguana thing is just a little over the top. I mean, Scarface didn't have an iguana, but
Yeah.
like if Scarface had an animal.
But what I do like out of
Yeah,
that
iguana.
scene is that, like, he kisses the girl, and
I
then
guess
he looks...
Scarface would have a tiger because he had a tiger. but
Yeah.
anyway.
Like, he kisses the girl, and then he looks over at the iguana, he's like, you want to kiss too? Mwah.
Fucking Bond with Pam. Like, shaken! Not stirred.
Yeah.
And then she goes up to the bar. He goes,
Shaken, not stirred.
Like, come on. Austin Powers style laughing when Bond has the meeting with Sanchez. Austin Powers style tiny gun. Pam plays the role of Bond as far as who Q gets mad at for messing with the gadgets. I work better alone. No, James, you really don't. Truman Lodge sounds like an odd name, like a campsite. Like Hocking Hills, Truman Lodge.
Yeah.
One and the same. Fucking John Glenn and his bird jump scares. Crest's boat is called the Wave Crest. I called my car the Asphalt Tyler. Don't know if you've ever quickly jumped in water, but it makes noise. She should have been caught. Coolest kill of the movie was the pressure tank. What about the money? Launder it. Classic. Love Q side of the road, broom radio. I work better alone, says the man again who's about to need saved again. Looks like he came to a dead end. Bondism number 2. We're almost done with the movie.
Is that really only the second one?
I mean,
so
unless you
weak.
count the Sanchez-isms.
No, because they
know?
gotta be from Bond. It's the only way.
And he didn't say them to Bond, so you can't say the reverse Bondisms, so they don't count either. So
Weak.
gotta get me some of that plot armor. Remy Julian was the stunt driver, and he pulled off the 18-wheeler on 9 wheels. They did have a thing on the side to assist him if he needed it, like a wheel, like on the side of the door. For when
Oh,
he
just to
tilted
brace it, yeah.
But they did not ended up needing that. Yes. Okay. No, don't. We'll pause the thing. Don't pause the video.
Don't worry, we can pretty smoothly transition out of this. You look nice.
And we're back. We had a pause. Sorry about that. God bless your face.
Thanks, Dad.
All right. We were. Yes, I work better alone, says the man again, who is about to need saved again. Excuse me. Looks like he came to an end. Yes, we were on Bondism number 2, saying how weak that was.
Weak.
Oh, the stunt thing. That's what we were on. So he was on 9 wheels. And then another truck they worked on. The suspension and everything, so that when he tilts the, it's just the truck. No, he doesn't have the tanker on it.
Right.
They did the suspension and everything so he could do that wheelie. So they are practical stunts that they did for that stuff. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. I love it when they actually bother to do stuff like that still.
Like, for
It's a nice
instance,
touch.
Man with the Golden Gun, the car flip and everything. It was pretty cool.
Outside of the whistle.
Yes, the whistle was a problem. Time is relative to plot, obviously. Of course, he just timed dropping a tanker down a hill just right. Funnier if it misses. But, yeah. Outstanding plot armor once again. Would have loved to see Pam's plane get hit by that truck that, flies off the cliff, or the missile stinger to just blow her up. I don't know. I can't explain it. I would have just been way happier for some reason she died in a ball of flames. You know what I mean?
Real life consequences? What? Unheard of.
By the way, shouldn't the Stinger missile explode if it makes contact with something? I mean, I know it goes through the back of the plane, but it's contact, right? Isn't it supposed to explode on I don't know anything about missiles, so.
If you do, contact us.
Yeah, contentcrisis@yahoo.com. Missed Bondism because of Felix Leiter. Same in the beginning when he gets it, missed opportunity. Oh, a Felix Leiter. I hate the last scene. And, yeah. Did you have any that you wanted to focus on?
I feel like I kind of harped on the stuff I wanted to in the beginning. Kind of that darker tone, the darker atmosphere of stuff I think can and could play really well into the James Bond universe. Having a more emotional James Bond could definitely work out well. And while they had a couple steps that I really did appreciate out of what came out of this one, again, kind of the lack of consequence, the lack of any of it mattering, I think took away from it. Really, I think there could have been a cut of this movie where it was just more they just took that darker, avenue to heart. There were actual consequences. Maybe Pam does perish because of the way he fucked up, the whole exchange she was trying to have. Things along that lines, They had opportunities, and they still played it too safe to classic James, rather than kind of really, I guess, doubling down on, the darker path that they kind of set that tone for. So, really wish they could have done that.
Yeah. I feel like Timothy Dalton crawled so Daniel Craig could walk.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Craig kind of hits the darker tone type Bond. So, that's how I feel about that.
Yeah.
And as you know, I don't love this movie.
It's okay. You can be a stepping stone, but just understand that someone's going to have to do it better than you.
Someone is going to have to step on your face.
It's the only way that it works, and that's exactly what happens. So,
for box score, I counted 5, 10, 15, 25, 7 deaths. 27 deaths.
It's a lot of deaths.
There's a couple of the death asterisks, I would say, because I'm not sure if the driver of the truck that Sanchez was in the beginning died, or if those guards died as well, or if they got out of there. I know Coast Guard was there, but
yeah. I mean, granted, when the facility exploded, there could have been a dozen grunts in a break room who never made it out.
Yeah, so
it's a big compound.
We were saying on-screen deaths.
Mm-hmm.
So there's all of that. And then I said bangs. We have 3. We got the Lupe and her lover. They're shown or implied.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't see. Granted, it's a Bond movie. You don't see anybody bang. It's not a.
But it's got to be heavily implied.
It's not a Cinemax special. But Lupe and her lover, Pam on the boat with Bond, and then Lupe and Bond. I guess you could imply it's Pam and Bond in the end. in the pool.
I mean, you know
think
for
they
a
just
fact they're
bang in front
gonna-
of the whole party looking over the balcony.
Yeah,
What's
Q's
going on
just
here?
standing there over the balcony, just yeah.
No, I think Q's such a G he got with Lupe.
yeah.
Because you remember him at the end of Octopussy. He's like, oh, well, maybe later.
Yeah.
I can't do a Q list.
I'm sure
007. There it is.
I'm sure Q pulls for sure.
Oh, for sure. Bondisms, 3. Wait, 3. Man, where'd that...
Where'd that third one?
I must have said a...
counted something as Sanchez, maybe.
Yeah, 2. It's 2. Times Bond needed saved, 3.
Too many. It's too many. If he needs saved once, that's an understandable mistake. But if your plot is entirely anchored on somebody else saving your ass the whole movie,
Yeah.
you have failed as a spy.
Legs eaten, I said 3 because Felix's leg.
Mm.
And then that one guy just got completely eaten. So, yeah. And that would be my box score for this movie.
It's a good box score.
I did go back and look at our ratings we gave because I write them down. You gave a 5 initially.
Wow.
Do you want to change that at all, or are you good?
Honestly, like this most recent time going through, like 6.7 is what I was feeling. Like I had a pretty decent time with this. And I feel bad that that's a substantial jump, but I'm gonna chalk it up to we were burning through some Bond movies for a while there, and I got a big gap between this one.
Yeah, I'll write it down. I'll put it in the Google Doc. And then I gave a 6 initially. I'm going to stick with 6.
Okay.
Tyler stays the same, and then Harley's not here, so he said 6.3, which we'll leave alone. And, yeah. So after this, I believe Harley made a video before he left the initial night we did this. So you'll see
Little bonus clip.
a little bonus clip from Harley, the Harley Hot Takes exclusive. Did I say 2 L's in there?
Exclusive.
A Harley Hot Takes exclusive. And that's it for us. So, the YouTubes, subscribe, Cons of Crisis, Twitter, Instagram, we're on there, Cons of Crisis. If you want to email us and tell us how stupid we are, suggestions and stuff like that, consecrisishotline@yahoo.com. Spotify, Apple, whatever, wherever you get your podcasts. And thanks for listening. Right? We're
Yep.
good? Yeah, we good?
Let's go.
All right. Bye.
Bye.